The weapon skills appear on the screen, and Zahn is awestruck by their impressive abilities, powerful attacks, healing, and support. He realizes this is an all-rounder with no apparent weaknesses and is still in disbelief at the strength of an SSS spirit bond. Zia, in shock at her new SSS rank, thanks Zahn, to which he simply replies, "You're welcome." Emiya then chimes in, revealing that she was previously bullied by Zahn and made fun of. She asks her godfather to make it up to her. Zano reassures her not to worry, mentioning that he has a contract with an E-rank spirit master whose talent is minimal. He promises to continue making things difficult for him in the city. Zano also notes that he has already arranged for the spirit master's test in Shenlong City the next day and claims he is the one in control here. Emiya expresses her gratitude, but Zano questions the point of thanking him and asks how she intends to repay him. Emiya suggests they return to their old place, where she will settle her debt. Zano agrees and wishes for a good night. As time passes, various posts about Zahn begin to circulate. One criticizes him for choosing beauty over skill by selecting an E-rank spirit master, while others complain about his lack of consideration for the country's welfare. Zano is pleased to see that the negative publicity he orchestrated is having the desired effect. Emiya is in awe of her godfather's brilliance. Zano then asks Emiya what else he excels at, and she responds with everything. Zano explains that this is just the beginning for Zahn. When the test begins, Zahn will come to understand who holds the real power. A crowd gathers around, and one person points out Zia, calling her E-rank trash. Another criticizes Zahn, suggesting that his judgment is impaired and that Zia deceived him with her looks. Zia apologizes, but Zahn tells her to remain confident and not to apologize. He advises her to eat more to ensure she doesn't fall behind in the spirit test. Zia thanks him, and Zahn encourages her to ignore the naysayers and show everyone their true strength. At that moment, a voice calls out, asking if he is Zahn. Wang Lumao introduces himself, saying that while people claim Zahn is an SSS rank genius, he personally doesn't think Zahn is all that impressive. Zahn inquires about his identity, and Lumao announces he is set to become a beast spirit contractor. Zahn chuckles at Lumao's name, prompting Lumao to ask what's so amusing. Zahn apologizes, saying he just thought of something funny. Emiya advises Lumao to keep his distance from them, calling Zahn a useless spirit user who contracted an E-rank and will soon be exiled. Lumao retorts, saying he will wait for Zahn. As they head to the testing grounds, a teacher explains that the test is about to start. Each participant will face a randomly assigned level of difficulty, and passing even one level will qualify them. The teacher then calls Emiya and Lumao to begin their tests. The test for Lumao is a black oyster, a creature of moderate difficulty. Lumao prepares for battle, summoning his weapon to break it. He attacks the creature again, and the crowd murmurs in awe, recognizing Lumao as an S-rank spirit master and noting his impressive strength. One examiner comments that it wasn't a one-shot victory, but it's acceptable. Wei Cheng, the leader of the first region, remarks that the participants are struggling with just one monster and suggests they are worse than the laborer group. Another person reminds Qing that he isn't the boss and to stop acting as if he were. Lin Jingshuan, the leader of the second region, finds it strange that me, an S-rank, should have been able to defeat the monster with a single blow but instead appears to be about 20% weaker. Jingshuan speculates that Mi's lack of control over her lifestyle might have caused her spiritual force to leak out. Zano coughs. The teacher congratulates both Mi and Lumao for surpassing level 7 and setting a new record, previously held at level 6. A spectator from the crowd remarks that they truly deserve their S-rank status, while another expresses curiosity about Zhan's reaction to their performance. The teacher then calls Zhan and Zia forward for their test. Zhan notices the challenge and is taken aback. 10 black oysters for a level 1 test, he exclaims. 10. Zia, surprised, questions why there are 10 creatures for such an easy level. The crowd murmurs, with some suggesting that Zhan is being targeted and that things are about to get interesting. Others comment that it's Zhan's own fault for choosing an E-rank spirit master. The teacher explains that test difficulty varies for each person, and that for someone with SSS rank talent, it should be 10 times harder. He privately reflects on Zhano's instructions to ensure Zhan doesn't pass, and he thinks Zhan offended someone he shouldn't have. Zhan confidently declares, "Bring it on," signaling the start of the battle. In an instant, Zhan launches an attack, and the confrontation ends as abruptly as it began. The crowd is stunned by how quickly the fight was resolved, in just 1 second, and questions if this E-rank spirit is really so formidable. Meanwhile, A girl wonders aloud if an E-rank waste is this powerful. What does it mean for her own potential? The examiners are baffled by the scene and are left questioning the identity of this extraordinary individual. Ching comments on how he took 30 seconds to defeat a similar number of opponents, whereas Zhan accomplished the feat in only 1 second. Jingxuan acknowledges Zhan's remarkable strength but questions the fairness of the test, asking why the difficulty has been ramped up so drastically. Zhano explains that this increase is a temporary measure designed to demonstrate that one should never squander their talents and to set a high standard for others. Zhano is taken aback by Zhan's strength and muses about how he will perform against the next wave of monsters. Ching concurs, noting that their own test involved 10 monsters, and feels that the new participants have become too complacent and need to step up. Another man, Aggress, expresses his eagerness to test Zhan's limits. A level to difficulty is selected, and 20 black monsters begin to spawn. Zhan launches his attack, activating the Song of Heartbreak skill. As the skill roars into the air, moments later, the monsters are falling one by one, creating a sea of defeated creatures. Zhan coolly asks, "Is that all?" That wasn't even a warm-up. The crowd is in disbelief, with some exclaiming that Zhan has gone mad, while others speculate that the examiners will not overlook this display. Ching shouts that he will take Zhan on, but Yiqiu, leader of the third region, interjects, stating that King's region is too harsh and unsuitable for newcomers. He insists that Zhan should be with him instead. Ching retorts, questioning if Qiu is trying to take Zhan away, and reminds him of their previous altercations, suggesting it's been a while since he last gave him a beating. Shen Zheqi, leader of the fourth region, chimes in, noting that both King's and Kai's regions are battle-focused and proposes that Zhan should join the exploration region, which is better suited for newcomers. Ching and Qiu dismiss Zheqi's suggestion with irritation. Another voice cuts through the argument, telling them to stop, then he asks Jingxuan for his opinion on the test. Jingxuan responds that while the monsters had tough skins, Zhan's skill effectively neutralized them, making their numbers irrelevant. He proposes adopting the highest evaluation standards for the year, to which everyone agrees. Zhano contemplates what Zhan will accomplish under the highest standard and awaits the next phase with anticipation. The teacher announces that the examiners have elevated the test to the highest standards. The system activates, selecting difficulty level 3, which spawns 10 level to giant lizards and 10 level to thunderbirds. The crowd reacts with astonishment. One person questions if this is too much, while another notes the combination of defense-oriented lizards and attack-focused birds is overwhelming for a level to Spirit Master, and phased, Zhan confidently remarks, "Is that all? This will make me look even better." Lu Mao, observing from the sidelines, mutters that Zhan is being arrogant. As the battle system initiates, the monsters charge at Zhan while preparing their attacks. Zhan activates a skill, sending his attacking team forward. The clash begins, with both sides sustaining losses and causing significant damage to the testing area. Zhan readies himself, dashing forward and using his Heartbreaker skill, shouting, "Break formation." The crowd watches in disbelief as Zhan blocks an attack and counters with precision. Some are incredulous, questioning how Zhan managed to perform such a feat. In response, Zhan activates his song, Break Formation skill, further demonstrating his prowess in the intense battle.